Hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica and this is The Love Project. If you have not already, please like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to leave your nuggets down in the comment section. Be sure to subscribe and ring that bell so that you'll get notifications for when I drop another video. And of course, share with your girlfriends, share with your friends, and invite them over to be a part of The Love Project. Thank you for coming back, and this week we will be talking about the lies we have been told, and for some of us, the lies we've been sold. All right, so ladies, we're gonna jump right in. I guess this video was kind of inspired after like having a conversation pretty much about us as women and how we was raised and different things that we was taught, and just different narratives that have been kind of ingrained in us, and in some cases like forced upon us. And now in this generation, in this time, and in society, we are seeing the results, or shall I say the consequences of it. So those are the things we're kind of going to touch on today. So the first lie I feel like we have been told, and this is both male and female, but as you know, when my husband out here, I don't be trying to speak on no men stuff, because I ain't no man, and I don't necessarily know what men want, how they think, or how they operate. So I'm going to always speak from a woman perspective, and I'm always going to speak to my sisters. However, I do believe that the information that I share could be helpful to men also. So men, feel free to stick around and listen. And even if it's not for you per se, you may get some insight into your woman, why she is the way she is, why she think the way she think, and why she do what she do. So hey, it still can help you out. But anyway, the first one we're gonna the first myth or lie that we are gonna discuss is the idea of YOLO, you only live once. I feel like this particular little saying acronym has torn the culture apart, particularly the young generation, the millennials and the Gen Z, because once we developed and kind of adopted this form of thinking, I feel like it has caused us to live a very, very reckless life. And life is to be lived, but not recklessly. So, as far as the saying YOLO and stuff, at first it came across as if it was supposed to be a way to encourage people to live their life, live it to the full, and so on and so forth. We have been kind of using this saying to make decisions that has caused lifelong consequences. So when you think about YOLO, a lot of time it was kind of brought across as partying and having fun and just doing what you want to do, because life is so short. You never know when your time is up, so you're just out here doing wild things. And particularly for women, I feel like it has really bred into what we see now in the culture of kind of like women feeling like they can operate sexually the same way men do. So, women are out here like sleeping with this one, sleeping with that one, messing with this one, on to the next one, so on and so forth. And like, I don't know about y'all, but when I was coming up, like, it was very important to monitor your body count. Now, of course, since the beginning of time, you're gonna always have those women that, they're promiscuous, they're out and about, they have names for themselves, and men, the neighborhood, and so on usually know who those women is. But to have the majority of women like living this lifestyle of just reckless sex and reckless, hookups, and not caring about how many people they've been with, like the fact that multiple men that know each other can talk about them and all this type of stuff, like, this is just, it's wild, right? Let's be clear, women cannot do what men do. They can act like there's no feelings involved and all this type of stuff, but we just not built like that. Like, women are not built like that to attach and detach You know, we just not built like that. And I can go into science and I can go into the spirit and all these reasons of why, but just as a woman, like if you be real with yourself, you're not built like that to attach and detach with multiple different men like that. So, but also, you know, one, there's diseases out here. Like there are people that's literally living their life with a disease that they cannot get rid of, and that most of the time is a result of being reckless sexually. And you know, it's like, is it worth it? I would probably say not. Of course, that causes unplanned pregnancies. You know, you have people with children and multiple children, um, and because of the lifestyle, because of the type of men that you know, they choose to entertain, you either end up with men who don't want to be responsible for their child, or men who don't want to be with you as the woman because they know the type of lifestyle you live in, and they don't want that attachment, and they don't want to be quote unquote stuck with you. It also come a time and place when as a woman you want to settle down, and unfortunately society is not as accepting of women who have been around and decide to settle down versus men who has been around and decide to settle down. And so you know, again, these things, like this mindset, can have a lot of lifelong consequences, and I just don't think it's worth it. You living for the moment, and then you look up years later and you are still living the consequences of a moment decision that was years ago. And I just feel like that's a huge lie that society have fed to the millennial generation and to the Gen Z generation, and now we are seeing the results of it, and it's nothing pretty. And I just think that's a huge lie of society, a huge lie from the enemy. And I feel like if we can come up out of that mindset, we will be so much better off. The second lie, which I find to be a huge lie, and I think we all can see the results of this today. And it is the whole idea of the independent chick, the independent female, right? Um, I, for one, will tell you I am not a feminist. I do not believe in a feminist agenda. And a part of me do believe that the agenda started off as one thing and kind of became more of a negative connotation. But even overall, I don't feel like the feminist movement have done much to actually elevate the woman, nor have they done much to reel back in the agenda once it got out of hand, once it got um, kind of branded as this hate against men type situation. I don't feel like the feminist, you know, movement did much to actually, you know, re-steer that narrative onto back into what they originally said it was about. But overall, this whole independent chick, independent woman, I feel like is a huge lie from the enemy, and I feel like it has torn the family structure apart, particularly in the Black community. And I just don't think it's no good for us. I feel like there's no security in independence. Women, like, we need companionship, and a big part of that is that the security that men provide, be it financially, be it emotionally, mentally, physically, and even spiritually. Like, why do you think women gravitate to the church? Why do you think the church is made up of mostly women? The main reason that is so is because women gravitate to leadership, and most, I would say for sure, at least 90% of churches have male pastors, have male leaders. So again, the feminist movement just totally broke down the family structure because it makes it seem like women are okay on their own. And it's not. And the crazy part is the main thing that us women desire is marriage, is children, is family. And we can't have none of that without a man. Yet, we're sold this dream that you can be this, woman that has it all. But usually they have it all at the expense of the very things they actually want, which is a family, which is a husband, which is children. And let me tell you, I'm so big on this that even like when I'm watching TV shows, and my husband can attest to this, like if I watch a TV show and that's what they're pandering, that's what they're showing. Oh, this independent boss chick, she the boss in every arena, but she can't have no stable relationship. She can't take care of her children, like her kids hate her at home, and she from this man to that man, and all those different narratives. I'm out. I am out. I do not entertain any false idea, any false pandering of, this black, most of the time, because it's black, but this woman who quote unquote have it all, and she do not have the real functions of a life that us women desire, meaning a family, meaning a home, and and children and marriage and stuff like that. Anytime they have this woman that's built up to be like, she's like this lawyer, this, got it made money wise, and she dressed to the nines, and she all of this stuff, but then literally she cannot keep a relationship. Like I said, she might have children or may not have children, and she don't have no relationship with her family, her mama, her daddy, and all this type of stuff. It's like everything else is well and going good, and she got the flights, car, and the nice bags, and all this stuff, but she don't have the things that matter. And the truth be told, that's what's happening with most of us these days. We find women who literally can and should be married. Like, they're beautiful, they are smart. I'm more than sure at some point, like, they find the Lord, so they love God, and they be cute, they know how to dress, and they've done things in their life to establish themselves and so on and so forth. But it's they've gotten so far out in the mindset of, I don't need a man, and I don't, I'm independent, and they wearing this badge of what they assume to be honor, but in reality, they're really dishonoring themselves, because again, the things you actually want, you don't get to have. And I always believe that you can have it all. Listen, when I was single, I was an independent chick. And that's because I had to be. Like, but I always kept in the back of my mind, I'm doing these things because I have to. But the minute I'm in a position where I no longer have to do these things for myself, I'm going to give it up freely. And me and my husband talk about that all the time. Because, baby, when I tell you, I gave it up. Like, let me tell you, I gave it up. Like, I don't do nothing that have to do with my car. Literally, I don't even put gas in my own car. And it's not because I can't, but why would I? This is what I wanted a husband for, Lord. So he can be bothered with that stuff. Like, literally, paying bills. Listen, I pay the light bill, the water bill, and I pay, we have like a sewage bill outside of the water bill. That's something they do here, whatever. But anyway, that's what I pay. My husband pay all the bills. Now, do I work? Yes. Do I bring money home? Yes. But I don't I don't want to have to do that. Do you know how much mental relief I have now that I don't have to worry about the bills? As a woman. Because again, you know, this was originally how things were supposed to be. making the provisions. Now, literally, I can pay the bills. Like, literally get online, pay the bills. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's, not out of place. Whatever works for you, your household, is fine. But I mean the mental capacity of having to pay bills, the mental capacity of having to keep up with everything that keeps your life and your home flowing. A woman is not supposed to have to do that by herself. And it is such a relief to pass that on to somebody who's actually feels responsible for it, who actually take the ownership of it. Like, I mean, independent is fine. And again, I'm not against it, because I do feel like there's a time in a season where you have to be independent. But to wear it as a badge, to not want to give it up when the time has come, to throw it in a person you dating face, or throw it in, your husband face, like, I'm good, I don't need you, I could do me, and all this type of stuff. Why? Like, you know how good it feels to have somebody responsible for you? I feel like it's a beautiful thing to have somebody that is responsible for taking care of me. And that is in whatever that looks like, whatever I need emotionally. If I need somebody to vent to talk to help me sort some things out, my husband is there to give me emotional support, to provide that balance, because women, we are emotional, but men are logical. So sometimes I'm like on 10 and he like, like, it's really not that serious. Like, if you just pop, 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 then, that'll kind of solve that problem. And I'm like, yeah, that would, huh? But I couldn't see that because I was blinded by my emotion, and that's not to say women can't be logical, but men are logical almost 99% of the time. So every time you on cloud whatever in your emotions, they gonna ground you. They gonna ground you. You hear me? They gonna bring you right back to earth, baby. It's not that serious, right? So emotional support, mental support, again, relieving your mind of the stresses that we have taken on. Listen, women bodies don't do well with stress. Women bodies don't do well with stress. Men are built to like literally sustain a certain level of stress. Women are not. Where you think fibroids and all that stuff come from? Like, when a woman is stressed out, it affects your hormones, and when your hormones are affected, it affects your body. Like migraines, all of this stuff that we see women going through is due to stress. And if you have a partner, if you have a man in your life, if you have even friends in your life that are able to relieve you of life stresses, I'm all for it. And I think that is what men do. They provide a mental security for their wives, for the woman they with. And listen, I ain't trying to be independent. I've been independent. I will be independent no more. Physical, of course, men provide physical security, and we'll kind of get into that later. And also spiritual security, again, as I mentioned, like why women gravitate more to the church and the leadership. And of course, if you have a man who is a believer, a man of God, then he will provide that spiritual security to kind of just help keep you balanced, covering you in prayer, and being responsible and being accountable to somebody. Listen, the best part about my relationship now, my marriage versus the guys that I dated previously, at the end of the day, I know that Marcus has somebody to answer to. If my husband do something out of order, not only can I go pray about it and I'm like, Lord, you need to do something with him, right? But he have a leader, and he have somebody that is going to hold him accountable for his action, the way he treat me and how he deal with me. And then there's the word. He has the word that he have to be accountable to. how he treat me and how he deal with me according to God. So there is beauty in spiritual security. And again, this independent chick, this independent lifestyle don't line up with that, because independency, like the whole idea of us as humans having a savior and having a God, a creator, is the fact that we are dependent upon him. He is our source, right? We are dependent upon him. We are nothing literally without him. So much so that we don't even, like, we're a dead man walking when we're not in Christ, when we have not received life, right? Through the Spirit. So, that, and I can go on and on about that. But again, yeah, the lie of the whole independent chick, I never really did. I never really did agree with it, and I always felt like I feel like it's applicable in certain seasons of your life, but I do feel like it should be a temporary season. And even a mindset, if you have to put on the independent chick persona for that season in your life to, handle your business and do what you got to do, that's fine. But always, always, always treat it like a jacket. Put it on when you need to, but be ready to take that mud off when you don't need to, because you can't have both. The last one is something we kind of touched on a little bit before, but I feel like the biggest lie that we have been told and we have been sold, and again, if you can look all over the internet today and you're gonna see it, is that women don't need a man. We have been told that we don't need no man, we good by ourselves, we are the same, we equal, and so on and so forth. And baby, I mean, just from what I just told you a few minutes ago, I need my man. I need my man. Not want him. I do want him. But I need him. And even when I don't like him, I am grateful I got him. So, baby, let me tell you, please don't fall for the trap of you don't need a man. And please don't be out here professing that you don't need a man. Let's go as simple as life. I feel like a lot of times that, and the thing about it can't nobody call me a pick me, because I already been picked. So, but a lot of times when you speak up for men, that's what they try and do. They try to make it seem like you're a pick me type woman, but it's really just being real. Like, at the end of the day, men have literally given their lives to make our life easier. Like, going to war, the whole military is made up of mostly men. Like, these men don't risk their life to make our life so much easier. The reason why America, the home of the brave, the land of the free, is because literally all year round we have men mainly that's going and fight for our freedom. And we're gonna say men because even before women was allowed in the military, like literally the military was all men at one point. But these men went and they took pride in fighting, risking their lives, losing limbs, and all of that for our freedom. And they did that while the wives and the children was at home. The overall picture is these men left their homes and went to go risk their lives to protect women, to give women the comfort that we have here at home and in America. And I feel like even just the full idea of society, like all the jobs that are necessary for security, you talking about firefighters and police officers and, building, like all constructions and building these buildings. Like, who y'all think doing this stuff? Who y'all think keep electricity going? All these towers they building. Literally, if you from New Orleans, if you live in New Orleans, all the bridges that we have in New Orleans, like, who y'all think doing this? This men built like the structure of the world that literally make our life comfortable, literally make our life easier. And we have the gall to say we don't need men. Like, it's crazy. I done literally saw videos, just heard women talk, and they like, what we need men for. Now if you ain't trying to be with no man in no relationship, that's fine, to each his own. But to try to eliminate a whole species because you ain't feeling them or whatever the case may be, it's like, come on now, let's be real. So do you literally need a man to have a job? Like, literally, there is no children, no new generation without men. So just this whole, you don't need a man, like, it just blows my mind because it's crazy. And I feel like society have really tried to pin us women against men, and it's like, we need each other. Now, I don't have to say that, I don't have to tell men that they need women, because men already know that. I see men acknowledge all the time, like, I wouldn't be nothing without my woman. You know, I would be nothing without my mama. And, you know, men, I feel like, acknowledge the fact that they need women all the time. But see this lie that we've been sold as a woman saying we don't need men? Why do you think that is? Like, why do you think that society has pinned us against our men, and now it's literally us against one another instead of us with one another? You know, a big thing of why I know for a fact the idea and this lie that we don't need men is just that, a lie, because we need our fathers. Like, we as women, the girls need their dad. So your son, you know, your husband is gonna be somebody else's dad, and women need their fathers. And last but not least, we need men for survival. I don't know about y'all. And listen, if y'all think this just me, um, if y'all think I'm the only person in the world that thinks like this, put it in the comments. But survival. Like, I could be in the kitchen. I see a bug. If I see a bug, when I tell you, babe, come get them. I could not imagine trying to survive without men. Like, how? Now, again, there is a lot of stuff when I was single and when I was being independent that I was able to do and forced to do for myself. But when it was all said and done, there was a lot of things I needed men for. And a lot of times I had to pay. I had to call a man I knew or something to get it done. But I I can't survive without no man. Who fixing y'all cars? Literally, it could be a man on the street. I know nothing about Mr. Joe, but I know Mr. Joe can fix the tire. I know Mr. Joe can change them brakes. So guess what? Mr. Joe, can you handle this for me, please? Like, that's what men do. Who come and do plumbing work? Who come and put a new roof on the house because we got a leak? Who doing this stuff? Men. Like, I can't live, let alone survive, without a man. And that's why we need men. We need men to survive. I mean, when it all comes down and they got an animal or, you know, a war or crazy people, shoot, even security. Like, when you see almost, and I'm not saying women don't do security, because I've seen them and I know a few myself, but overall, when you see people that's willing to put their life on the line, it's men. Men be living like that, and I'm like, have your way, baby. When I go places and I see these big old men with their big old guns, I feel safe. I don't think twice. I go wherever I'm at. I do my business and mind my business, and I feel like the safest place in the world. Why? Because I saw security. And I feel like these people gonna protect me. They don't know me. They don't know me from Adam or Eve. But they about to risk their life for me when it goes down. And I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Whoever you is, thank you. Listen. And again, this is not to say we have women that serve in the military. Thank you for your service. We have women who has broken into many fields and doing all these different roles. Again, thank you. But that is not my go-to. That is not even who I'm expecting. When I call for help, I'm expecting a woman to pick up the phone, most likely at 911. But when the help arrives, I'm I'm probably almost surprised if it's a woman, because again, men are dominating these fields. They're the ones that's out there making it happen. So you know, in the instance that is a woman, I'm all for it. Better you than me, sis. But my overall expectation is, is the man. And so I just really wanted to make this video to say, don't fall for the lies. If society is behind it, honestly, it's usually a agenda. Anything that is popular, that is trending, that is big, that is in your face, is usually a lie. Because unfortunately, the world and society don't promote anything good, and it don't promote anything godly. And God, even the Bible tell you that, like, the world, the majority don't follow him. The world don't follow his ways. So just kind of be mindful of that. So when something pops up and it's just this big idea and everybody doing it, usually it's not good, and it's not good for you. So don't believe the lies. Don't believe the lies. I'm sure there's many more lies. If there's some you felt like I missed, be sure to put it in the comment section. Hey, and we'll talk about it. But until next time, love ya. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.